Good evening and welcome to RFL. I'm Richard French. Well, what a mess it was outside today, and I'm hoping you're both warm and dry on this very snowy Thursday, February 13th. And we're not, surprisingly, going to be talking politics tonight. Instead, we will spend this entire program on the latest big storm to hit our war-weary region. Now, we're not done with this one just yet. Now, here's a live look at Levittown on Long Island. You can see right now here the snow has turned to precipitation, but as mentioned before here, there will be more snow on the way this evening. Here's another live look, this time at Bayonne, New Jersey. You can see the accumulations in many cases throughout our region, as much if not more than a foot. So the question is, when does it stop? How much snow will we get before this thing is all said and done? And when, believe it or not, is the next storm coming? For the answers on that, we're going to head over to the FiOS 1 Weather Center and meteorologist Jeff Denori, who's been a very busy person this afternoon, along with the whole FiOS 1 meteorological staff here. And just when people see those pictures, Jeff, I guess the first thing they ought to know is it's not over just yet, right?
Yeah, a little deceiving, Rich. You look at those pictures, you see some asphalt on the roads. It's black, it's cleared off, but we have more snow to get through tonight. This storm is not over yet. The National Weather Service, when they issue a winter storm warning through Friday AM, they mean Friday AM. It's not done yet. We have another band of snow to deal with, and some of that snow could be heavy at times once again tonight. Here's the snow that moved through earlier today. Look at this dark blue right here. 3, 4, as much as 5 inches per hour with this particular band of snow as it lifted north. Now the warmer air started to work into the system, and we've turned over to mainly rain now across much of the region. But look what's happening in South Jersey right now. This is thunderstorms. These are heavy rainmakers that are starting to make their way up the coast. Now these particular cluster of storms are moving back to the north and west, wrapping around the low. So think of it as a top and you're spinning it. What's happening is this is not coming straight towards us. It's actually working around the low. So it kind of does this all the way up the coast. So in a couple more hours, we're talking about more precipitation into the area. The problem is that's rain down in South New Jersey. When it gets a little closer, it's going to be snow, and we're going to add to these totals. Comac, 14 inches, Melville, 11 inches, Albertson, 10.5, Malvern, 9.5, and at the airport in Islip, just over 8 inches of snow. Portions of New Jersey, Lodi picking up 12 inches, West Caldwell near 11, North Bergen, 10.5, and Hoboken, 10 inches. At the airport in Newark, 9.5 inches of snow. Heavy snow this morning, and again, here comes more. As we talk about that cluster of thunderstorms bringing heavy rain to South Jersey, it's bringing thunder snow to areas of Maryland and Northern Virginia. What happens with thunder snow? Think of a thunderstorm with snow, but the lightning is really vivid. It reflects off the ice crystals of the snow, and it can really brighten up the sky, but it can also cause bursts of snow, much like we saw this morning. As we get into the overnight hours, that is the main concern. As this cluster of storms push closer to the area, we could be looking at another 1 to 2 inches per hour again tonight, adding on to what we've already had this morning. I had to make a separate graphic because we've already had accumulations around a foot across much of the region. We're still going to be talking about another 3 to 6 inches in this purple shaded region for tonight, as we'll have those bands of heavy snow setting up with the clusters of thunderstorms that push through the area. I think areas out towards the eastern shore, even though you got close to a foot of snow, I think the round of snow tonight misses you. It's really confined to Nassau County, much of New Jersey, northern New Jersey, New York City, and the Hudson Valley, even into Fairfield County. That's the best chance of getting one of those snow squalls that could drop some heavy snow real quick. And 3 to 6 inches plus the 12 we have out there already. Now you're starting to get to 1.5 feet of snow with this system when it's all said and done.
So I know you hate when people say polar vortex. We've gotten tired of that, but you do like thunder snow.
I do.
Okay, now a couple questions. The precipitation that's coming, is it a godsend that some of these huge accumulations is going to start washing away, turn slush, or is the fear that it puts a layer of ice and then you got snow on top of it? I mean, thankfully, we'll talk more about this hour. We haven't had huge outage numbers. Could this be a problem if the water and the rain freezes?
Well, you know, I think as we get into the overnight and those temperatures, they'll drop just under 32. So I don't think it's a widespread black ice issue, but any kind of icing that takes place and then you put some snow on top of it, you create some very slick road conditions. Plus, the winds are going to keep continuing to be strong overnight, gusting 40, 45 miles per hour. We've already had reports of pretty heavy snow across the region. Not much in the way of power outages now, but as we get into the overnight and you get those temperatures back, refreezing some of those wet wires, and then the winds kick back up, you may see those power outage numbers increase into the morning hours.
And finally, Jeff, I know that a lot of parents are going to be asking this question. We'll talk about what happened in New York City later, but because of the additional snowfall that we're going to be getting tonight and some of those dangerous conditions between the wind and maybe some of the ice, do you think we could see school closures again tomorrow in certain parts of our region?
You know, I really think it's a district type of thing, a school by school kind of situation in the morning. But I think with the snow accumulation that you have overnight and the possibility of refreezing with that snow on top of the refreezing of the ice, very, very tough road conditions right into the morning hours. Maybe not a cancellation, but maybe some delays as you start to go into the day on Friday, hour or two delays and start school maybe a little bit later.
All right, Jeff, thank you so much. We'll be checking back a little bit later with Jeff this hour. Now, the storm bringing with it some major problems that go well beyond just slick roads and backed up airports. There are reports of several building collapses across our region today, one of them in Bayonne, New Jersey, and that's where we find FiOS 1 News' Kimberly Wallace, who joins us live tonight. Kim?
That's right, Rich. Now, I want to show you just how heavy this snow is here in Bayonne and Jersey City, where we have been since this morning. About a foot of snow has fallen here, and over the last few hours it's been raining on and off, raining right now, picking up a little bit, and that is really adding to the weight of the snow, contributing factors to several roof collapses in the area, including here at the Star Snacks shipping facility behind me here in Bayonne.
It was kind of scary, but we got out, crazy weather, before the fire department came. Once they came, we were all out.
When I did see the beam bent like it did, I was like, yeah, no, it's time to get out of here. We evacuated the building before we even called the fire department. We have a procedure, emergency procedure. Everybody meets in one area, and then we take everybody out of the building, account for everybody.
Employee Dennis Blackmeyer says the collapse is in the middle of this large building, which is a packaged nuts distributing facility. Employees here scrambled to safety after they heard the roof creaking and noticed it starting to cave in. The Bayonne Fire Department has since shut down the building.
Because we don't know exactly how bad, the structure is. We have solar panels on the roof, so that extra weight between that and the snow and everything else.
Looks like until next week, Monday, Tuesday, we're not going to be able to go into the building.
Yikes. Did it affect any of the product inside?
It didn't affect any of the product. It's just on the side, whatever, but it can cause, it's going to be more snow tonight, tomorrow, whatever, but let's hope for the best.
Now, this is video from nearby Jersey City where a Verizon building partially collapsed. Everyone was able to get out, but 3 people were treated on scene for minor injuries. Again, here in Bayonne, all of the employees at this facility were able to get out safely. No injuries reported. Reporting for RFL in Bayonne, Kimberly Wallace, FiOS 1 News. Rich?
Thank you very much, Kimberly. And for most people in the region, this has been a stay-at-home kind of day, but not for everybody. So the question is, how are the transit systems in our region faring on this very snowy Thursday? And FiOS 1 News' Elizabeth Saab. She's live tonight from the LIRR train station in Hicksville out on the island. Elizabeth?
Hey, Richard. Yeah, well, it's rush hour here in Hicksville, and for the most part, the trains are running smoothly. But if you're coming from or going to Port Jefferson or Huntington, you do have to stop here and hop on a diesel train. Now, earlier we were in Mineola, and folks that did have to get out say that if you got to go, the train is the best option.
We've been working next door due to the weather. We're all going home early. Cars under about a foot of snow, can't get out the driveway, so we're going to attempt the train, see what happens.
For riders like Mario DeGrossa, who is headed to Central Islip, the LIRR is making sure the sleet and snow doesn't stop them from getting there. Plowing, salting, and adding 4 extra trains in the afternoon. Though there were delays, some up to 20 minutes, it couldn't keep Alan Goldman from making the trek into Manhattan.
I've got 2 meetings set up today that was supposed to start at 10:30, but obviously the weather has dampened everything. But we've rescheduled and changed the venue.
Goldman's in town from Louisville, and the weather pushed his plans back about 2 hours, but he doesn't have any complaints.
I give New York a lot of credit, because if this happened in Louisville, everything's shut down. Everything. Schools, office buildings, everything. So you guys clean this up really quick.
Goldman's train was only about 7 minutes late, but Kevin Campbell's train home to Huntington was canceled.
No car, so just sit and wait, that's all. It's fine. They were good this morning. I got out this morning, got on an early train into Mineola. No problems, everything moved well, so these guys are working, so here we are. We just sit and wait, hope for the best.
Yeah, well, Kevin Campbell did probably make it home to Huntington, likely on one of those diesel trains that I was telling you about. Now, the MTA says lots of folks chose to stay off the rails today. They only had about 112,000 passengers. That's about a third less than what they normally get every day. That's the latest here live in Hicksville. For RFL, I'm Elizabeth Saab, FiOS 1 News. Back to you, Richard.
Thank you very much, Elizabeth. And as we've been reporting all day, really, the MTA doing a very good job de-icing the rails. We've seen problems in prior storms here where the rails are frozen. We've seen in other places around the country where it's been an issue. So far, so good. Obviously, the storm not through with us yet. We'll see how the evening fares here. Now, from the rails to the roads. Now, crews have been trying to plow us out of this mess all day long. Let's see how they're doing as we head over to the FiOS 1 Traffic Center and Lauren Richardson. Lauren?
Hi, Richard. Yeah, right now, too, as Elizabeth mentioned, we've been having a lot of delays on the rails today and on the roads. Not too much traffic, but definitely a lot of accidents. We've still got a couple going on. One right over here going southbound on the New Jersey Turnpike near the George Washington Bridge. And you can see another closing Route 202 over here. The turning lane is closed near Lower Somerset. Now, let's take a look outside, though, so you can see exactly what it looks like out there. It's a little bit better. The snow is not covering the roads anymore, but as Jeff mentioned, too, later on tonight, we're going to be seeing a lot more weather conditions that could be a big impact on the community. So switching along to, that's the New Jersey Turnpike, Garden State. And you can see over here, Long Island Railroad. We do have some delays on the Montauk line. And as Elizabeth mentioned, Port Jefferson still suspended at this time. And she mentioned those diesel trains. We've been having delays on the airports. You want to watch out for these all throughout the morning, all throughout the afternoon, and on New Jersey Transit too. Still some cancellations you want to watch out for. So we'll be keeping you updated on that. I'm Lauren Richardson with your FiOS 1 Beat the Traffic report.
All right, Lauren, thank you very much. And you've heard about the roads here and the rails. We're going to check in on the airports a little later. And also, Mayor de Blasio not having the best of days here. The decision to keep the schools open today not only led to a Twitter war, but a lot of angry folks. We'll talk about that. And also, we'll be talking to leaders around our area who are struggling not just with the snow, but with the economics of snow, shortages for sand and salt, and also some budgetary concerns. That and a whole lot more as our special coverage continues right after this quick commercial break.